Hi everybody, I'm Ryan. Today we're going to talk about a card that totally shaped Standard once upon a time. And that card is Thragtusk. Now Thragtusk is a pretty low power creature as far as Modern or Legacy is concerned. But I stand by that if it was reprinted now in Standard or Pioneer, it would be dominant just like it was once upon a time. Pioneer being about the same power level as Old Standard. Now, Thragtusk is a 5 mana, 1 green, 4 generic beast, and is a 5/3. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 5 life, and when Thragtusk leaves the battlefield, put a 3/3 beast creature token onto the battlefield. So there's a couple reasons this card was really good. First off is that if it resolves, it's always a 2/2.5 for 1. I say the 5 lives is kind of a half. Because it doesn't matter what removal you had, if it just leaves the battlefield, there's a 3/3, which means in the context of the format that it existed in, which is mostly Delver of Secrets Standard, their main removal was either countering it, which was pretty good against Thragtusk, but also Cavern of Souls existed, or Vapor Snag, which doesn't work. They Vapor Snag Thragtusk, they had already gained their 3 life because Thragtusk had entered the battlefield, but then a 3/3 is left behind. So not only is it always a 2-for-1 if it resolves, but it slows down aggro. Normally, when you look at cards, they're either like really good value and awesome utility or are built-in 2-for-1s, or they're good against aggro. The reason for this, and this like design feature in Magic, is that aggro is kind of supposed to be a check on super powerful mid-range decks. And so if mid-range is the best strategy and they're just throwing haymakers at each other that are supposed to be built in 2-for-1s, mid-range decks are supposed to be beat up by aggro decks because aggro decks often don't care about the 2-for-1s. Thragtusk was good against both, which is a problem. So much so that after Delver of Secrets was no longer in Standard, and really while Delver of Secrets was in Standard, it often felt wrong to play anything without Thragtusk in it. Now, the two decks that I think utilized Thragtusk in the best ways and were dominant in Standard were Jund and Junk Rights, would probably be called Abzan Reanimator now. Used to be called Junk. Jund was just a mid-range deck playing Thoughtseizes, Huntmaster of the Felves, Thragtusk, Farseek to get those really powerful cards out a little bit earlier, and Bonfire of the Damned. And just 1-for-1 and frankly outvalued with things like Huntmaster and Thragtusk their opponent. Abzan Rights, like while this wasn't a purposeful reanimation target, it was a great way to sort of bridge the reanimation and play as a mid-range deck and then eventually reanimate something like an Elesh Norn or something else ridiculous. And if you reanimated Thragtusk, still pretty good. Also, in the context of all of this, Thragtusk bouncing with something like Restoration Angel meant that you play a Thragtusk, gain 5 life, cast Restoration Angel at instant speed, maybe in response to removal. Thragtusk leaves the battlefield, you get a 3/3, re-enters, gain another 5 life, and you have an Angel. Like, this is just, Thragtusk in the context of all this was just insane. But I wanted to give you all a sneak peek into old Standard and old cards that totally dominated Standard, and Thragtusk was definitely one of them. If you have any Thragtusk memories, please feel free to put them in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. Check me out on social media. Links are above me and in the description, especially on Twitch where I stream most days. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.